The first time it happened, I thought it was a mistake. The second time, I started asking questions. But the third time, I knew it wasn't a coincidence. These Eerie Encounter episodes are a little different. They're not just legends or stories passed down through the mountains. These are real experiences, moments people have lived through, things they still can't explain. Some come from listeners, stories sent in from all over, and some are a little closer to home. Tonight, I'm sharing another one of mine. I was around 20 years old, living in my first apartment with my fiancé, who is now my husband. It was a normal place, nothing strange about it, nothing that should have made me feel uneasy. Until things started happening, without a logical explanation. That day, I had bought a pair of earrings and left them lying on the kitchen table. Later that day, in a rush to clear the table for company, I dropped them into a decorative teapot that was always there. It wasn't something we used, it just sat there, empty and looking cute. About a week later, I remembered the earrings and went back for them. And when I opened the teapot, it was full of water. Not damp, not a little condensation, full. Enough that the earrings were completely submerged. I just stood there, trying to make sense of it. I asked my fiancé, "Why would you put water in here?" He hadn't touched it. I wondered if this was the apartment maintenance man's idea of a joke. Maybe he had done this while we were out one day, even though we didn't have any work scheduled. Whatever. I had pretty much pushed it from my mind until a few months later, it happened again. I went to grab a spoon from the utensil holder in a drawer, and it was filled with water, completely full. And this time, it didn't feel like a mistake, because nothing around it was wet, the counter was dry, the sink was across the room, there was no leak, yet it was full of water. Because it wasn't from a spill, it wasn't from a leak, it was appearing in contained places, like it had been put there. Eventually, we moved. A new to us house, a new space, and for a while, nothing happened. Until it did. I kept a box of envelopes in my bedside table. One day I needed one. So I opened the drawer, and the envelopes were soaked. Completely soaked. And this was the weirdest part. Nothing else was wet. Not the drawer. Only slight moisture underneath the box that was completely soaked. Not anything around it that could have leaked. Nothing on top that could have leaked. Just the envelopes and the box were wet. Like the water had been specifically placed there. And that's when I started to put some pieces together. My dad, he passed away when I was 18, after being hit by a careless driver while riding his motorcycle. When I think of him, I always associate him with water. Growing up, we were always on the lake. The family would go swimming, and he loved to go fishing. The water was one of the places he was most at home. After making the connection, I laughed. My dad would have thought it was funny messing with me, but he would also want me to know that he is always around. I can't say for sure that it was my dad letting me know he's always there. I don't know how to explain the water, but I do know this. It never felt threatening. It never felt dark. If anything, it felt familiar. Like something or someone was trying to get my attention in the only way it could. And it stopped. Just as suddenly as it started. No more water, no more apparent visits, And maybe there's an explanation. Something simple, something I just never figured out. Or maybe it was something that doesn't need to be rationally explained. Because even now, when I'm at the lake or see a beautiful body of water, I just think of him. This has been Eerie Encounters, first-hand frights with stormy skies. Thank you for listening and for stepping with me into the shadows of Appalachia. And if you've ever experienced something you couldn't explain, strange lights moving through the sky, shadows that don't move the way they should, something following you along a mountain trail, something that didn't feel right, or something that maybe felt a little too familiar, give me a holler. I'd love to hear your story. Eerie Encounters episodes don't belong to just one region. It doesn't matter where it happened, whether it was deep in the mountains of the Smokies or right in your own home. If you have a story, send it to MyHollerStory@gmail.com, because it might be the next story told here. And if you're enjoying the show, make sure you're following so you don't miss which haunted holler we visit next. New episodes drop every Saturday at 5 p.m. on Spotify and wherever you listen to podcasts. If you'd like to support the show, you can find my website in the description. Your follows, likes, and shares help more than you know. The mountains of Appalachia have always been a place of mystery. Long before the roads and towns, these ridges held stories of strange creatures, wandering spirits, and encounters no one could explain. Until next time, stay out of the hollers after dark.